I've been saying for a long time now that the cruiserweight division is the most slept on division in boxing these days. And it has been for the past few years because there are a hell of a lot of good fighters in the cruiserweight division, and there are a hell of a lot of good fights. There have been classic fights. It really is a shame that the cruiserweight division doesn't get more attention than it does. I remember watching an interview. I think it was with James Ali Bashir. Yeah, I believe it was James Ali Bashir on, maybe it was on Bayloric's channel, and James Ali Bashir was saying that the cruiserweights of today are the heavyweights of yesteryear. I think even Jonathan Banks was saying this, and it's true because the cruiserweights today weigh around the same as a lot of the heavyweights from the 70s. Yeah, the heavyweights from the 70s were around, a lot of them were around 200 pounds, some of them as light as 190. The biggest heavyweights those times, I mean, there were some very big guys, but generally the bigger guys like the Kenny Nortons and the George Foremans, those guys were weighing, somewhere between 217 to 225, 226. So, you know, by today's standards, Kenny Norton, I mean, when Kenny Norton fought Ali, I think he was 212 the first time or the second time. I mean, that's like a big cruiserweight. So you really are talking about guys in the cruiserweight division today who are not too dissimilar from the size of the heavyweights, a lot of the heavyweights anyway, from the 1970s, right? The biggest heavyweights were only weighing in the mid 220s, most of the top level guys, whereas some of the smaller guys were 200 pounds, the likes of Jerry Quarry and people like him. Um, so many heavyweights from those days, Jimmy Ellis and all those kind of guys. Yeah, they're like 200-pound guys, 205 pounds. Even Joe Frazier in his prime was only like 205. So anyway, it's a slept on division, and this World Boxing Super Series, which has been organized by Richard Schaefer, among other people, is looking to be incredible, at least the cruiserweight version. The super middleweight version of this tournament, because it will take place in two divisions. At the moment, it's just got George Groves. I'm not sure who else is in it. But cruiserweight, just look at the lineup, people. You've got all the champions in it, basically. You've got Murat Gassiev, who's the IBF champion. He's signed up for the tournament. You've got Urina Dorkitos, or, sorry, let me repronounce that. Urina Dorticos. I'm not even familiar with that fighter, but he's the WBA champion. Then you've got Meris Breedis, he's the WBC champion. He's signed up. And the latest person to sign up is the former WBO champion, Marco Huck. And from what I've read recently, Alexander Usyk, who is the current WBO champion, he's also looking to sign up. So, this is looking tremendous here, people. All the champions signing up for the tournament. I've also heard that Krzysztof Glovatsky is looking to sign up for this tournament. I mean, it's just a who's who of the cruiserweight division. Imagine if all the heavyweights out there signed up for a tournament like this. Imagine you got Wilder, Parker, Joshua, Klitschko, Ortiz, all the top heavyweights, put them in a tournament and let them fight each other, including the champions. That's what the cruiserweights are doing. So hats off to these cruiserweights for doing this. You've got 3 world champions already signed up. You've got a former champion in Marco Huck. I believe possibly a former champion in Glovatsky. And a few other guys are going to be in there. So yeah, this is shaping up to be incredible. And hopefully this tournament will shed some light on the cruiserweight division and give that division the accolades and the credit it deserves, really. With this tournament format, it's more conducive to, drawing audiences in, because all the fighters are going to be constantly marketed as rivals for each other and whatnot. So yeah, I just think that the tournament format helps raise the profile of all the fighters in it and the division in general. So let me know what you think of this, people. Who's your favorite to win this tournament? I guess if Usyk enters, He's probably going to be the favorite. And if anything, Usyk is so confident. I know his last fight was more difficult than usual, but Usyk is so confident that to him, he probably thinks this is the perfect opportunity to unify all the belts. That's probably what he's thinking. He's thinking, well, it's going to be difficult if we try and negotiate separately with all these different champions and their promoters. But if I just sign up for this tournament, then all the fights will happen because all the other champions are in there. So it's just a much easier way for me to consolidate these belts. That's probably what Usyk is thinking. Maybe that's what the other champions are thinking too. Maybe they're just as confident as Alexander Usyk is. Great stuff, people. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.